What's up guys, it's Daz here, but you don't really care, because we're in a hole underground, and we are going to take on all of the Koroks in the entire Tabantha region. There's not too many, because the region is so small, but first of all we're going to go way down south, because we want to do things south to north. It's my way of doing things around here. First things first, we're going just southeast of the very bottom shrine, which you can find underground. If you don't know where the shrine is, and you don't know where any of the shrines are, or all of the shrines are in the region, check out my last video, because we did them all there. Right, let's go. Let's go. So the first thing we are looking for is this patch of flowers right on the marker. What we need to do is, as we've done in previous Korok incarnations, you want to touch the flowers in ascending order. 1, 2, 3, 4, and right over here, 5. Nice and easy. Up next, we're going a little further north. We are on the middle-ish part of the Rain Highlands. Now for this, what we actually need to do is go to the ancient columns and get to this platform on this pillar here, just a little bit west of the little patch of water. It'll lead us towards that pillar over there. We simply just have to paraglide and climb over. If you've got enough stamina, then you can use your leaps and it'll be done nice and easy. Now that that is done, we just need to go further along the ancient columns, just a little bit west of the shrine. Now this guy is just in the water through the lily pads. Moving on, we're now going to go to the far east to the end of the path. You'll know you're in the right place because you'll see this really long bridge, and this is going to come to another sort of debatable Korok for me. I want to get all the Koroks in this region, and as you can see in the marker, it is marked to be here. But it's not actually under the bridge or anywhere near this region because it's another platform race. What you need to do is you need to go to the other end of the bridge to start the race and then go through the other side of the bridge. Underneath there is where the target is. So technically the Korok is on this side because that's where it ends and that's where it appears, but it's not on this side. We have to go out of bounds to get to it, but we're going to do it anyway. Oh my god, thank you. That was so down to the wire, and that was so much hassle to do. Good lord, I'm glad that's over. Okay, next up, we're going west down, still on the Rain Highlands actually, just a little bit west of it. And what we're looking for this time is this pillar here. At the very top is a rock, underneath a Korok. Okie doke. Next up, we're going to Piper Ridge at the very peak. That Korok's in a bit of an uncomfortable position, eh? Now, this guy is up on a little mini pillar here. It's more of like a stub, and it's another archery test. And these guys are moving somewhat hard to follow-ish. Nah, they're not too hard. Just shoot them all when you get it. Now that's over, we're going just a tiny bit north, still on Piper Ridge, down here. What we want to do is we want to find this little alcove down here where there is another apple offering ornament? Urn? You know what we're doing now at this point. You're used to it. Up next, we're going a little bit west of Piper Ridge on the west side of the path, just on the part where it turns into a 90-degree angle. Right, just a little bit west of that angle, we can see that there are two Koroks pretty close together. Now, the first one is actually at the bottom of the cliff, underneath a rock, surrounded by flowers. How pretty. The other is another game of golf. Just push the boulder into the hole and you get a hole-in-one, hopefully. If you're as lucky as I am. Now that that's done, we're going just more to the west, way to the edge. It is once again another apple offering just along the edge of the arena. Next up, we're going north along the main path, just in between the narrow hill and the path, on this little mound as well. Now, this is another platform race, so you need to go onto this little cliffy alcove here. Try not to get noticed by that encampment, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But yep, just fly over to the top of that pillar. Now we are going northwest even more to this massive tree. It is another ball and chain puzzle. Pretty simple. Next, we're going just northwest of the main tower. Shouldn't be hard at all. So for what's expected of you here is you need to destroy the black mog and lift up this rock. Try not to get too hassled by the enemies. Moving on, we're going to go to the far east, because I think that's more south, just along the edge of the cliffs there. Here we are on this tiny little alcove. Underneath another rock is our Korok. Just a little bit northeast of the trees, if you need that as a reference point. Number 14, I think? 15? Number 15 is northwest of the tower even further by the rock formation. You can see it on the map, so it shouldn't be hard to find. So for this, you need to just put a rock that's not too far away in the very center of the entire rock formation. Try not to be in the situation I'm in, because it makes it a little bit more tricky for you. Right, now we've made it to... No, we haven't. We haven't made it to this village. What am I saying? We're going to the eastern edge of Kuho Mountain. Here we are. It is another cube puzzle. The cube goes here. Next, we're going just a little east onto this random little island. The Korok can be found in this little alcove behind this breakable wall on the western side of the island. Just blow it up and lift up the rock even. The following Korok is northeast a little more on the southern edge of this little cliff here. The Korok is at the bottom of the actual cliff behind a bombable wall underneath a bombable rock. No, liftable rock. Same thing. Next up, we're at the very northern peak of the massive body of water in the area. You need to go into this little alcove here and in between the lily pad. Lily pads. Next up, we're going further northeast onto the very end of this cliff. It is at the very top, examinable in a cloud of leaves at the top of this tree. Next up, we're going to go to Warbler's Nest, because I want to do this batch on the west side first before we go into the village. It seems more easy to do when they're clumped together like they are. So from Warbler's Nest, we need to go just a tiny bit southeast to find the first flower. This is a flower challenge, except it's not really much of a challenge, it just takes you on a path. Next up is just a tiny bit north of that, literally just next to the shrine. You need to make the rock formation, which is found a little to the east. Now the next one's a little bit out of the way, but I'm going to go for it anyway because it's a lot easier. We're going to go a little bit west down to the Dragon Bone Mire, I believe it's called. It's within this moggy, lovely skeletal fossil. The Korok itself can be found underneath the skeleton. Once you bomb away the grass, leaves even, and then pick up a rock. Next up, we're going just south of the village on one of the little islands. So for this, what you actually need to do is go to the island to the west, because on the top of it is the platform that you need to race down onto the southernmost island, or southernmore island. Somehow it takes you there. It's kind of misleading, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, let's go. Next Korok is just southeast of the village, and this one's up high on a mountainous rock. Very easy to get from the Divine Beast. Right, now we're going to go for one in the very center of the village. Where it actually is within its heart. There is a balloon that you can pop. So really, that should have messed with the Shadow Shrine quest, but oh well. Next up, we're going to the Korok on the western island. On this island is another offering statue. Okay, now I want to go east of the village, just a little bit north of the stables. It's in a clump of trees. At the top of the very big tree is your Korok. Next, we're going west, to the very peak of the mountain on the west side of the village. Now we're actually coming to a lovely cold area, so I hope you've got your Rito armor. Anyway, we want to look for this little cavern here where there is another offering system. But it's not apples this time. It's spicy peppers. I guess someone was cold. Right, now that that's done, we're going to go to the Koroks to the west. Starting with this one on this little clump of land here. And this guy is just simply underneath a rock here. Huh. Next, we're going further north, and actually this is going to be another platform race that takes us out of bounds. We need to go way up to the northern area from here. And I mean way up. We went to the flag way off in the distance. Let me show you on the map where we are. Crazy. Anyway, you want to use the platform race to get down there. I would highly recommend snow surfing, because it's a lot more effective than paragliding. The Korok east of that is simply up on a cliff a little bit within a rock formation. There are 3 rings and 3 missing rocks. The holes in the rock formation lead to where the rocks are missing from. Next, we're going northwest of the village, just on the crossing of paths. Now for this, it's another ball and chain well puzzle. Following that, we're going to go far to the east, on the northeastern side of the village, in this clump of stuff here. Now similarly, this guy is actually not similarly at all, just underneath a rock on one of the cliff faces. Next, we're going to go far east again, at the top of Hebra, the Hebra Plunge. What a lovely name of a place. Plunge. And this is again within a lily pad. Lily pads. Right. Final ones. Now we are back at the flight range. This Korok can be found on the roof of the building at the flight range. And the final one is northwest of the flight range, on kind of out of the way on the cliffs. What we need to do is activate a flower path which starts here. And with that, we have gotten all 37, I think, Koroks in this region. So yeah, pretty short, but pretty concise. Anyway, I believe on that note, I'm going to end it off here. Next time, we'll take on all the treasures, which I really should have recorded at the same time as I did in the Gerudo Desert, but oh well. For now, my name's Mindaz. You didn't really care, and I will see you in a bit.